What we find actually, the northeastern states, especially Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, in the monsoon season as a whole, if you just look at, and also individual months, they are getting less rainfall normally during the period 1971 to 2020 as compared to during the period 1961 to 2010. At the same time, the West Central India, especially Saurashtra Kutch, Rajasthan and West MP, this area is getting higher rainfall during 1971 to 2020 as compared to 1961 to 2010. Now, let us see some large scale features which influence the Indian monsoon. As all of us know that El Nino or La Nina are the crucial factors which influences the Indian monsoon, and also the Indian Ocean dipole also matters to a large extent for the Indian monsoon. But if I compare the El Nino Southern Oscillation and Indian Ocean dipole, we will find that El Nino and La Nina has the higher association as compared to Indian Ocean dipole, but there are certain years where Indian Ocean dipole has also played a major role. In a nutshell, I want to say that El Nino is usually associated with below normal rainfall or deficient rainfall. La Nina is usually associated with the higher rainfall, that is above normal rainfall or excess rainfall. But I want to say that there is no one-to-one relationship between El Nino or La Nina and the Indian monsoon, though it is a major factor. Similarly, Indian Ocean dipole, if I consider, the positive Indian Ocean dipole is good for Indian monsoon and negative Indian Ocean dipole is not good or is unfavorable for Indian monsoon. So, when I say positive Indian Ocean dipole, that means the western part of equatorial Indian Ocean is warmer and eastern part of equatorial Indian Ocean is cooler, that is positive Indian Ocean dipole. And opposite happens in the negative Indian Ocean dipole. And if I just look at El Nino La Nina conditions, yes, this year what is the status we can look at in the next slides. Okay. So, this is the latest global sea surface temperature departures. If you just look at the top diagram, you will find that the ellipse drawn in red circle indicates the area where you have got the blue color. That indicates that the temperature over the central equatorial Pacific and east equatorial Pacific are below the long period average, whereas the west equatorial Pacific is above the normal conditions. So, this is called as the La Nina. So, if you just look at this condition, it is a La Nina, so therefore it is good. If you consider only La Nina, El Nino condition, it is good for Indian monsoon. And if I calculate the average temperature, so Nino 3.4 area, which is most favorable area associated with the Indian monsoon, it shows minus 0.9 degree Celsius. Now, if you look at the recent evolution of the temperature over the equatorial Pacific, that also you will find that all blue color you are finding out in the latest time. That means it is in the negative side of the normal, that is below normal temperature. Now, you can just look at to a little depth of the ocean up to say 300 meters. What we find that it is warming over the west equatorial Indian Ocean and it is cooling up to a height of about depth of about 150 meters or so over the central equatorial Pacific, and that indicates that the positive anomalies are now restricted to the West Pacific, mostly at depth and near the surface in the Eastern Pacific Ocean. Now, if I just look at the latest forecast for El Nino and La Nina from different international models, it shows that the blue color indicates the La Nina conditions. So, La Nina is favored to continue into the northern hemispheric summer, that is 53% chance during June to August 2022, with a 40 to 50% chance of La Nina or ENSO neutral thereafter. So, therefore, at least up to middle of the monsoon season, we can expect the La Nina conditions to continue. And thereafter, it could be the neutral ENSO conditions. A majority of models, as you from the right hand side diagram, indicate La Nina is to continue and then transition to ENSO neutral conditions.